Hello friends and welcome to Automo India. Right now I'm in Coimbatore, as you all know, and here I'm in GD Naidu Car Museum here. So basically here you find all the ancient cars, or rather the vintage cars here. So behind me itself you can see the pictures of the production line of the Ford Model T, the old cars, and here there's a video being shown about Bertha Benz on her first trip of the first car that Mercedes ever built. So let's move on and check what all are there here. Before that, let me show you, there are a few books over here. So there is a lot of parts too, like Grand Prix and all those things, electrical and ignition system and stuff. And moreover, below, as you can see here, there's a workshop manual of Volkswagen that is from the 1963. Yeah, it's quite old book. Meanwhile here there is the copy or the exact letter which was sent by Enzo Ferrari to GD Gopal in 1983, as you can see. So here's the letter. Yeah, it was sent by Enzo Ferrari. It's unbelievable. Now let's move on to the inside and check all the cars. So there's a thought too written over here which says, if nothing ever changed, there have been no butterflies. So let's move on. So as soon as we enter, here there is another thought. Failure is the only opportunity to begin again, only this time more wisely, by Henry Ford. That's one there. And over here, in the walls, there are few pictures of Bertha Benz driving the first motor car, as you can see. So you can read them after pausing the video. There are other pictures too over here about the first automobile, as you can see. Meanwhile, here is a replica of the first automobile ever made. So that's Bertha Benz. And as you can see, this is just a replica, it's not the real one. They had to replicate it with the highest accuracy. And as you can see, it's written, the Benz patent motor wagon had 438 number of parts. Yeah. So these were the parts over here, as you can see. And these are the parts. Meanwhile, this is the car, or the first motor wagon. Moving on, here there's a picture. It shows the Benz motor wagon in 1886. That was the car, the first car, and this is their current car, that is in 2016, which is the Mercedes AMG GT. That's a true sports car actually. And here is the birth certificate of the first automobile, as you can see. So Benz and Co. Yeah. So Benz had invented the first car ever. So this is how the first car works. As you can see, it was equipped with a differential gear. 0.9 horsepower was transmitted to the rear wheels via belt and chain, enabling a top speed of about 15 kilometers. And here it had a 4-stroke single-cylinder engine mounted horizontally behind the seat over the rear axle. So next one is here Mr. GD Naidu's first motorcycle. So here it is. So its name was the Rudge Multi 1912. It was made in England, and this was the first motorcycle ever built by Mr. GD Naidu. And here are the parts, original belt, carburetors and stuff. So this is a motorcycle, as you can see. It looked cool actually. Just look at the tires. Here's the number plate, and just look at the light. It's a bulb actually, which is placed vertically, and there's a basket too over here. That's the fuel tank. Yeah, it's quite good. And behind over here there's a box too, so you can carry stuff along with it. And that's the seat over there. So after the motorcycle, here we come to another car, that is Henry Ford's first experimental automobile. So it was built in 1896, and it was named the quadricycle because it ran on 4 bicycle wheels. So it was powered by a 2-cylinder engine which produced 4 horsepower, and it drove the back wheel. So it was basically a rear wheel drive. As you can see, here's the picture of Henry Ford on his quadricycle. And yeah, So the success of the quadricycle motivated Ford to found the Ford Motor Company. That's how Ford became, or Ford was started. And as you can see, so that's the first quadricycle. It says Ford quadricycle, year of production 1896. That was the seat. Looks quite comfortable, and looks like that is the brake, and this is the steering wheel. Not kind of steering wheel as such. So yeah, here's the engine behind it. So it was driven by a chain actually. That was the 4 horsepower engine. So yeah, there are a lot of parts actually, in fact. So this is the Wankel rotary engine. As you can see, the front there's a blade that is used in planes actually, and here is the engine. So it is the picture or diagram of what is inside a twin rotor Wankel. It says rotors, output shaft, rotor seal, flywheel, etc. So yeah. So Mazda cars and the NSU RO80 used same Wankel engines. So here it is. It was developed by Felix Wankel. It's a type of internal combustion engine using an eccentric rotary design to convert pressure into rotating motion. So that's how the engine works, and it's been used in a variety of vehicles including automobiles, motorcycle, racing car, aircraft, go-kart, jet skis, etc. So a lot of vehicles use it actually, and that is how it works: exhaust, spark, compression, intake, as you can see. Meanwhile, here we have a model of a cooling system, that is basically the radiator in the front, as you can see. And let's see what is it. So this is basically a cooling system, as I said. So in the front it has a radiator and a fan, then a thermostat. So it is obviously, if an engine needs cooling system, right? Because if there isn't a cooling system, it will overheat, and basically the engine will get seized, or it is of no use. Meanwhile, there's another model over here, that is a fan in front. So yeah, this is the engine. That's another radiator in the front. Over here, as you can see, there's a tank over here. So these are the different cooling systems. It's engine cylinder arrangements: inline engine, flat engine, V, opposing cylinder engines. So let's see what is it. Cams, RPM, engine block, crankshaft. So these are the parts of an engine actually, to be honest. And timing belt. So if you're a true automobile enthusiast, you'll be knowing all about these. That's a cooling system. In the front there's a radiator. On the other one, that is this, there's a fan in the front instead of a radiator.